Welcome to Mastering Mortgages, presented by Revolution Mortgage, the podcast that demystifies the world of mortgages, real estate, and homeownership. Our goal is to empower and inspire homebuyers, real estate professionals, and mortgage industry leaders. My name is Danielle, and I want to invite you to join me as I sit down with today's guest to talk about practical tips and valuable insights into the mortgage industry. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Mastering Mortgages podcast. Today, we're excited to feature two special guests. Joining me are Tyler Kelly and Jordan Johnson, who are branch production managers in Ohio at Revolution Mortgage. In today's episode, we're going to peel back the curtain on Revolution Mortgage, exploring the unique dynamics and family atmosphere that set it apart. So without further ado, let's dive in. First, I just want to say thank you guys for joining today. We have Jordan Johnson and Tyler Kelly, and we're just going to dive into a little bit of the behind the scenes at Revolution Mortgage and just take some insight away from them. But to start off, I wanted to ask more of a random but kind of relevant question, I guess, is just if you had a real estate superpower, would you rather be able to instantly fix any property or loan issue or predict the future market trends? I feel like that's a tough one. And yeah, Jordan, let's start with you.
It's a good question. If I had the choice, I would prefer to be able to solve any property or loan issue because we've been in the business long enough where market trends are out of your control. And, you're going to try to find a way to navigate those regardless. But if you had the ability to have control over fixing any loan or any property issue, one, make your numbers look really good. And two, it would just, holding things together is what I would prefer to have the ability to do all the time, which sometimes you can't always do that. So that is the power I would choose if I could.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And, we like to think that we've been in the business a while. We feel like we do that on a daily basis, but there's always things outside of your control, appraisals, properties having issues, you name it, inspections. And, in this business where it's a service related business, and our goal is to provide the most exceptional experience for our realtors and our buyers. And, if we can have that superpower and make every transaction just perfect, fix every bug, because things come up outside of your control. And I'd have to agree that's the same thing, just so you can provide that excellent service every single time.
Just bat 1,000.
Exactly.
It'd be great.
Yeah, no, I'm actually a little surprised that you guys chose that, just because it seems like everybody's always trying to predict the future, right? But no, that's a good answer too, because if you're able to fix a loan issue or problem, then ultimately you're helping the customer and giving them that best customer satisfaction. So that is great. Well, I just wanted to go over a little bit of your guys' background and just to hear a little bit more about your backstory. So let's just talk a little bit about, we just started a new year. We're recording this at the beginning of January. So what is one dream or goal you have yet to achieve but are actively working towards?
I'll go ahead. I'll take this one. So I guess to answer the first part of the question, I guess for our backgrounds, Jordan and I, believe it or not, we're actually family. This is my little nephew.
Yeah.
His dad is one of the owners here at Revolution Mortgage, and I've known his dad, Tim Johnson, for 30 plus years now. And he married my sister. They were high school sweethearts. So that's kind of how Jordan and I both got into the business, following his dad. I guess to the second part of the question, we both run individual branches separate of each other. And one of my goals, hopefully we can create this in 24, we'll see, achieve this goal. But I've ever since I took over my branch, it's something that I wanted to do. And I don't know why that number just stuck out to me, but 500 families, we want to be able to help 500 families achieve the goal of home ownership. So I guess that would be my goal, to build our team and to the capacity and develop our relationships to where my branch alone can help 500 families.
That's a good goal.
That is a good goal, for sure.
And
A goal of mine that I have is one, to grow my team. I've always had I was a part of a larger team at one time, but when it came time for me to do my own thing, I've always kind of had a tight-knit group, and I am looking to expand. So I want to grow. My goal this year is to have at least 5 full-time team members aside from myself, and each of them achieving their goals, whether that's units or volume. But my goal is to grow my team, and then I also want to help. Another goal I have is to help increase the income of some of my referral partners, whether that's helping them with marketing themselves or helping them with just any way I can help their business. I don't want to just have goals for, and it's great to have them. I don't want to just have goals for myself and my team, which those are important. But I also want to have goals for what value I can bring to other people, and I want to help a handful of my agents increase their income and find ways to make them more successful as well. Not just see what I can do to make myself successful, but I want to make those around me successful as well. So that's a goal I have, is to grow my team and also help grow some of my referral partners' business and income as well.
Perfect. Yeah, those are both just great goals, and I appreciate you guys for sharing that with us. And maybe, if anybody listening is still trying to figure out what goals they want for 2024, maybe just put some ideas in their head. And I know, Tyler, you touched on it a little bit, just about how you guys are related, and in the business world, you guys go way back, being close with Jordan's dad and everything. But maybe let's hear a little bit more about that. So even though you have family ties and are related, how on earth did you get to where you're at now with mixing family and mortgage? Just want to hear a little bit more about that backstory.
Yeah. So long time ago, I was going to college and working at the same time at a larger institution, and wasn't quite on the loan sale side yet. Started off in collections, and I just saw a lot of guys. It was kind of, I guess, the minor leagues for loan officers. I guess it was the collection area, and I started off my career in mortgage collections, and I just saw the loan officers that would come in and work with us, and we would send leads, and I got connected with Tim, and so he would help out the people that I would refer him to from the collection side, help them bring them current, refinance their loan, put them in a better position. So that's kind of how I got started into it when I was in college and working in mortgage collections at the same time. And it was just something that interested me. Obviously, it helped having someone in the family so close, and just picking their brain and learning what their day-to-day looked like. And so it made it an easy transition for me to say, hey, you know what, I kind of like this. And, I saw, this industry can be rewarding in so many different facets, emotionally, financially. I mean, there's a lot of things you do to help people. But so I saw the benefits on that side too. And it's just something that, going to school, I was like, you know what, I think that's what I'm going to switch my focus to. And that's how I started off. And after mortgage collections, got a position as a loan officer, and just stuck with it and stayed with it from there. That's how I got in.
Yeah. Well, for me, so Tyler and I my dad, Tim, managed a branch at a different bank, and Tyler and I both started there relatively at the same time. You might have started slightly before me, but
yeah,
relatively at the same time. It was back in 2013, I think, early spring 2013. And we both started, and I was in a very low level position. I mean, I was the guy who got coffee for people around the office. I didn't know anything there was to know about a mortgage loan, but slowly worked my way into getting on the phones, getting comfortable with talking to people, kind of understanding the workflow and the process. I eventually became a mortgage processor for a handful of the loan officers in the branch. Learned the ins and outs of files. Still had a lot to learn, but was learning how loans worked, and listened to the conversations that Tyler and the other loan officers had, and kind of started to get a grasp on what it took to get a loan done, whether it was a refinance or a purchase. And then in 2017, I became an LOA, a loan officer assistant, for a couple guys in the office. And that is where my mortgage knowledge really kind of took off. That's where I learned a lot, because I was in an office with them, hands-on, working their files. I didn't have any kind of distractions or other things going on. It was just me and them two, and it really, hit me hard with a lot of knowledge and a lot of expectations that they needed me to do. And then from there, I got licensed in 2018 and haven't looked back since. But it's been a very cool journey because, you could say I started, at the very low end of the totem pole and worked my way up one step at a time, which I think has served me well, being that I used to process loans, being that I used to work on them from the non-origination side, because it kind of helps, you get a better understanding of what's going on when you're working a deal. So, yeah, just kind of that started from the bottom and absorbed as much as I could, and now we're here 11 years later. I can't believe we've been in this journey 11 years. It's been a quick 11 years, but it's kind of how I got in, and me and Tyler again started relatively at the same time, and that's amazing to see. When we started, Tim had a handful of people, and then now Revolution Mortgage has hundreds of people employed. So it's been sweet to be a part of the whole journey and growth. So
yeah, my journey started a little before yours.
Yeah. I mean, you were
04, 05 is when I started mortgage collections. But when we started working together, it was fun to see you grow too, because kept watching someone come in not knowing anything, and then it really does. I swear by this. A lot of the best loan officers that I know have started off as a processor. And it just helps them learn the file, what's needed. It's more than just about sales. And you've learned everything from what it takes to get a loan done, how to treat your clients, how to take care of your clients, and knowing the back end. It really made you a well-rounded loan officer.
Well, I appreciate it, yeah. Tyler and I still call each other on the daily, asking loan level questions and scenarios. Hey, man, you ever had this happen? You ever had this happen? So we still bounce ideas off each other and help when we can. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, you have to start somewhere, right? And so that's great that you guys have each other too, to kind of lean into and just bounce ideas off each other and help each other out with the loan process. But I wanted to kind of switch gears here and just talk a little bit more about Revolution Mortgage and kind of the culture that they have, and just wanted to see what's a personal value or belief you hold that aligns strongly with the ethics at Revolution Mortgage. And, since you guys have been there from pretty much the start of it, this could be something that maybe it started one way and it's different now, but just wanted to see what that is like for you guys.
But do the right thing is one of our slogans here. And that's what I've always done, and kind of instilled into our staff and our branches. Worry about the things that you can control. Try not to get too out of shape out of the things you can't control. Do the right thing, and everything else will come into place. Your world may be falling around you. Sometimes things get crazy, but if you do the right thing, no matter what it is, if you're making sure that you're putting the customer in the right product or whatever it is, you do the right thing, it's going to pay. Everything will all pan out at the end of the day. So,
right.
I'd have to agree. Do the right thing. Everything else will fall into place.
Sure, yeah. So since I've started in this business, I have come to learn that if you do the right thing, it's all you can do is just try and do the right thing. And Revolution has kind of coined that phrase in a lot of what they embody. And I've seen it from the moment they've started, that they've always tried to do the right thing. They try and help their employees, help their clients, help bring new innovative technologies and people to the company to help it operate the best it can, which brings in another one of our phrases, let's make moves. We're always trying to make moves and grow, and I've just seen it firsthand happen, and I think that Revolution Mortgage embodies those phrases very well, is do the right thing and let's make moves. Constantly looking to grow, constantly looking to achieve more, but making sure you're doing the right thing along the way. So that's kind of what sticks with me when I think about the company.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of ties into, the next question that we had here. Just, of course, that's a great tagline. It's important to do the right thing, but also it seems like everybody that joins Revolution, that aligns well with just their ethics and how they feel. So just the next thing I wanted to ask here is, could you share a story of how you've grown or evolved professionally since joining Revolution Mortgage. And Tyler, you can start with that one.
Okay. Yeah. I would say I started off at Revolution as just a loan officer, and then after some time has gone by, we started to grow, and we had branches coming on from other states around the country, and then our corporate office was growing as well. And I ended up becoming sales manager, and then after sales manager, ended up getting the opportunity to run my own branch as well. And I would say along the course of those different changes, as a loan officer, you're really just you're worried about yourself, your own realtors, your clients, and becoming a sales manager and then running your own branch. It opened my eyes up to caring about your staff just like you do your clients or your referral partners, and putting them first above yourself, and trying to run a successful branch or the office as a sales manager, and it really just opened my eyes up differently. I've managed previous, but having a branch and being the sales manager was a little bit different, a little bit more responsibility, and it's been a blessing. It has its challenges, but it's one of those things where it's really helped me grow personally and professionally, and just putting other people first and making sure that they're successful, and as well as yourself.
Yeah, that's great. And definitely, I feel like kind of aligns too with what you were talking about earlier with your goal for this year. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, Tyler hit a lot of great points. So, when I started at Revolution, I was just a loan officer. And that, like you said, as a loan officer, you're responsible for your own little small sphere, the people you work with, your clients, and that's it. I mean, you work with your underwriters, you work with your processor, but you're kind of your own operation. It's just you're a one-man show. As far as responsibility, you're only responsible for your own circle. And then, I was given the opportunity in 2021 to open a location and a branch, and I quickly learned that, because I had zero management experience prior to that, quite frankly. The only thing you manage as a loan officer is your pipeline. And you realize that there's a lot more to manage and be aware of when you do manage a branch. And I learned that very quickly. So it's a lot of responsibility. It's exciting, though, like Tyler said, because it gives you a lot of more opportunities to be in control of many different things, not just the loans that you're working on. There's a saying around here, it allows you to run a business within a business. When you run a branch, you are responsible for your own little business. It's like your own little lemonade stand that you got to manage everything, and it's exciting. It brings its challenges, but it's been cool to come on to Revolution as a loan officer. I didn't think running a branch, quite frankly, I didn't think it was in the cards for me. I just never thought it was a possibility. And then as I grew and things changed, I was given the opportunity to have it, which I'm thankful for. And it's had its challenges, but it's also been very rewarding. And it happened quick, but I'm thankful and excited to be in the position I'm in, excited to continue to try and grow. And grow, again, my business, my operation, my branch. It's like your own business. So,
yeah, and just to tag on to that too, I think, I always tell people in our office too is, you can't teach someone. You can teach someone the job, you can teach someone how to do a loan, but the best loan officers out there are somebody, you can't teach someone how to care. And, that's kind of, it was just, for me, it was a cool transformation of just caring about my files, but caring about people. And I think that's what really, the growth in myself and how I evolved professionally is, I'm not only just caring about my clients and doing it, it's now, you're caring about your branch, caring about your staff, and that's what's been the true evolution in my career, and very rewarding.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point that you made, Tyler. I mean, of course, in this industry, there's a lot of money that can be made, but at the end of the day, there are faces and names behind each loan and home that is being sold. And so, it's definitely important to care about those people and really know how important this process is for them. One thing I think I just wanted to also go off of is, I think what you guys have covered is super insightful for maybe somebody that's listening, and maybe they are just a processor hoping to be a loan officer, or maybe they are a loan officer wanting to open their own branch one day, or maybe they're at a different company and are thinking about switching over to Revolution Mortgage. I just think that the information that y'all have covered so far is super insightful for kind of guiding them on how to get there. But I also just wanted to kind of ask, what advice would you give to someone who is starting their career in the mortgage industry? Maybe 2024, that's their year, they want to get into the mortgage industry. What advice would you maybe have? And either one of you can start with this one.
Well, I'll take this because I'll go first if you don't mind, Jordan. This question it's come up in the past, and like we touched on earlier, this industry can be very rewarding, and so sometimes you see a lot of people that see other people in the industry or yourselves, and they want to hop in, in real estate or lending. You got the TV shows. Everybody sees, oh, it looks like it's easy money. It's not easy money. It's hard money. And so if you're jumping into the industry, I guess, the first, and this is so hard to say just one thing, but there's really a few things. For me, I would say find the right mentor. It may take a minute, but when you're getting in, get attached to a team. Find the mentor, because there's so much to learn in this industry. But find the right mentor, and then just be relentless in your business plan. The market the past few years has been tough, and sometimes you have to adjust, but stick to your plan. Be relentless in in every aspect of your business plan, and the other thing I'll say is, just if someone is just getting in, again, the rewarding part may be the financial side of it, but be smart. I always say it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep, in all sales positions, I guess, but ride the waves. And those would be the biggest pieces of advice that I would give to someone new coming in.
It's good advice, yeah. Piggybacking off what Tyler said, you have to find a good mentor or coach or somebody who you can follow, learn from, someone who can help you grow and develop and implement new things. Because there are people who've been in the business long enough that through trial and error know what works and know what doesn't. And they have good habits and good practices. And like Tyler said, be relentless, be consistent. I think consistency is insanely important in this business. You have to be consistent. You take off for 1 month and you feel the effect for the next 3. You have to consistently be doing activities that are going to help you succeed. Another thing I would say is, a lot of people, like Tyler said, they see the rewarding aspect. They see how sometimes you can golf during the week and there's freedom in it, but you have to love helping people. At the end of the day, in this business, if you don't love helping people, it's going to be a challenge, I think, because you're going to sacrifice time. You're going to sacrifice, and some people are better with time management than others. I'm not going to say that, but every loan officer I know, we all can relate to the fact that sometimes you got to step away and take a call, and you have to be available. You're almost like a 24/7 on-call person, and you need to be willing to be committed to, doing that, because you want to help people. It's not just about a paycheck. The reward of seeing that family that's rented for 6 years that didn't think they could buy a house, and they finally get to the closing table, and you've been a pivotal part of their life story, and they're now going to have memories and Christmases and their holidays and other things in their house. I think that being a part of that's the true reward of this business, and that's what brings about more business. You do a good job, then people remember that and they refer you more business. So I would say, if you want to get into the business, get into it for the right reasons. And for me, the right reason is helping people. There's nothing better I love than being a part of somebody's success story, and having them have a friend call me and then be a part of theirs. It's all about helping people. So you got to love what you do, and what you love doing needs to be helping people, I think.
No, I 100% agree. It's a service industry, and you're
providing service.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah, and it's definitely, like you said, it's people oriented. So, somebody that might be jumping into this industry this year, just keeping that in mind. And I think like what Tyler said, and you touched on, Jordan, just having a mentor to kind of guide you and show you the ropes and help you avoid mistakes that maybe they've already made is definitely something that could be helpful when starting off in this industry and just setting them up for better success in the future. So guys, with the start of a new year, what would you say are some advice or piece of advice that you would give to maybe a realtor or buyer that could be potentially listening to this episode, just with some common misconceptions about the market, or just, there's a lot of talk about what rates are going to look like this year and just the housing market in general. So with all of that, buzz that's going around with the market and upcoming trends, do you have any advice for maybe buyers or realtors that could be potentially listening to this?
Yeah, sure. I would say if I was speaking to a buyer who was on the fence or unsure of what to do in 2024, just one, speak to a professional, speak to somebody who can give you the best advice and guidance that they can. As far as predictions, there's no crystal ball. However, I think through the last 3 years, Tyler can concur probably that when we saw interest rates drop at historic lows, we saw what happened to the market. Inventory became the number one problem in America, and it's still a problem right now. Inventory is. So logically, it would be logical to think that when rates start to come back down, more buyers will enter back into the market, and that's going to drive up competition. It's going to drive up the demand for homes, and the supply historically is still low right now. So I think it's fair to say that homes might be more expensive by the end of the year if rates continue to drop. It might be more difficult to buy a house if you wait. That doesn't mean that there's not merit to both decisions, but I've always believed in the best time to buy is when you're ready. You got to look at your current situation. What are you paying in rent? What's the new mortgage look like on the house for you? Can you afford it? If you can, it might be better to wait before that mortgage gets more expensive. Even though rates are dropping, if the house prices go up, the benefit for the low rate might not really be there as far as a monthly payment aspect. So, I have a lot of customers who I explain this to on a daily basis. A lot of people say, I want to wait until rates drop. And while it's a good perspective and I understand the thought behind it, you want to make sure that you know what could happen as far as home prices and affordability when rates do drop enough to where people who are on the sidelines are going to come in back into the market, create a busy, more competitive situation, and it could cost you more in the long run. So analyze the market, but also speak to a professional who's been in the market long enough to see the trends of when rates go down and up, and they can kind of help you make a good, educated guess on where they think the market's going to go. And then you ultimately make the decision for yourself if you want to proceed and if it's right for you. And if I was talking to a realtor or even another mortgage lender who's unsure of what to do this year, if you're not happy kind of with where you're at in your business or where you're at just in your overall journey, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So this is something I've had to do, is analyze my process, my business plan, and make adjustments to it, because if you keep doing the same thing, you can't really expect different results. You need to constantly be growing and learning and doing new things to try and, just figure out ways to grow your business and figure out ways to maximize your time. And that's my take on it. That's what I'm going to shoot for. I'm going to try and do as many things as I can this year that I didn't do last year to try and yield different results for myself. So,
yeah. So I guess I'll start off. If I have any advice for my fellow peers in the industry, whether you're a loan officer, realtor, or anything, I have 3 daughters, and they're all little ones, and they love Disney movies. And I think the one that sticks out to me that I'm going to say is Dory off Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
There you go.
It's the market, inventory, and rates. They can do what they may, but all we can do, like you said, is adapt and overcome. And sometimes you have to adjust your plan. And like you said, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, getting different results. When we get faced with different market situations, sometimes we need to change our plan to help our clients, help our own staff, our goals. So I'd say adapt and overcome and just keep swimming. just keep swimming, and that's all you can do. I guess to switch to, if there's any potential buyers, that may have questions, and we've had this a lot over the past few years. Not to get too much into data or anything like that, but in 22, we saw a lot of first-time home buyers, kind of get pushed out of the market. We saw rates go up, prices go up, and we saw the over ask come in, right, where everybody's offering over offer and waiving appraisal contingencies, all that, and it kind of pushed the first-time home buyer out. In 23, we saw them get some chances back, and in 24, I think it's going to be similar to 22. But hopefully a little bit better is my thought. This is just me hoping this is the case. 22, we had the same issue that we're going to have in 24, which is inventory. But in 22, we had a raising rate environment, right, as to where in 24, we're expecting to see that come down. So maybe 23 was the gap that we needed for the people that were on the fence that were going to sell and didn't list their property. Maybe that time is what they needed to say, okay, well, rates are coming down a bit, so maybe we'll start to see the exchanging of homes more, to where people that were on the fence and didn't list, maybe they will. So maybe we'll start to see that. We're going to see buyers hopefully flood back into the market. Hopefully we avoid some of that crazy over ask just for our first-time home buyers.
Sure.
And to the first-time home buyers, or even not the first-time home buyers, what I've always been saying the past year or so is, it comes down to affordability. If you need the property and if you need a house, you need a place to stay, it comes down to affordability. Try not to pay attention to that rate so much. We always say that, when we're talking shop and talking to our clients, you say you date the rate, you marry the house.
Yeah.
You can always break up with that interest rate when rates drop, right?
Yeah.
So that payment, that's not a 30-year payment. That's just the payment for right now.
Yeah.
So, we try to explain that to our clients and let them know, like, this isn't a forever thing, right? So when you're looking this year, keep that in mind, that, we're going to be able to help you out when the market does change, because that's the only thing that remains constant, right? It's always going to change. Yeah. So with everything we're hearing, we're hoping to see those come down a little bit. So there's hope out there for the buyers. Hoping to see that, the people that were on the fence listing, come 2024, they see the rates coming down. It's a little easier maybe to swallow that 3.875 or whatever you have, maybe go to a 6 or whatever rates fall down to.
Sure.
So hopefully we see more listings. The other thing that, we didn't touch on, and it really for buyers that we're really wanting to let them know, is that we have a one-time close construction product, and that is a large portion of all home sales in 24 is projected to be new construction. Yeah. So that's always a great option as well. If the market is crazy, and if you are a first-time home buyer and it does get into that crazy over ask again, waiving appraisal contingencies, and the market's just being pushed to its limits, there's going to be a lot of new construction, and that's something that we offer in-house, and that we do a great job at. So I'm really excited to offer that to our buyers.
Yeah, same here.
Especially our first-time home buyers.
Right. Because of the low down payment aspect of this program.
Exactly. It's not, that's another misconception that people may have, talking about misconceptions with the market, is on the new construction side. With my builder, do I have to put 20% down or 10%? The answer is no.
No.
FHA 3.5, VA 0, conventional 5,
USDA 0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's great options out there, even if the market does get pushed to its limits again and the inventory is an issue. We do have that for our clients, and that's the biggest thing that I'm giving hope to our buyers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some great tips, and just a great way to shine some light on what 2024 may look like, even though, like you said, we don't really have a crystal ball, but just what is expected based off, just what we've heard and what we've seen in the past. And just for people out there to, whether you're a realtor or a buyer, just to stick with it and speak to a professional about their options, because everybody's situation is unique and different. So just figuring out how to tailor that towards their needs. But I think anybody that's listening to this episode, hopefully they have been able to take away something that's insightful that they can apply to what they're doing, and just make it a great year. So I really appreciate you guys for just giving us some insight onto how you guys have made it work in the mortgage industry, and also just some behind the scenes at what Revolution Mortgage is doing and has done. So we're excited about the future, but thanks again, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's all have a great 2024 for sure.
To stay up to date with our podcast, please subscribe, follow us on social media, and visit our website, revolutionmortgage.com, to learn more about how we are revolutionizing the mortgage industry. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next time.